Blessings, welcome in. I hope everyone is doing well. I am Mel. So we're going to go into the realms of the Fae. Their whispers are growing stronger. There's great remembrance in allowing these, I heard angelics, yes, beings, which are elemental in nature, speak to us and give us the ability to play and explore with our imagination, our ideologies, our remembrance. So as I was meditating on this space, I went and I opened, and we were brought to fairy waters of wisdom. She's quite beautiful. They're all beautiful. There's a sense of again regeneration, nourishment, and the energies, we can equate them probably to this Venus retrograde and the feminine, the beauty of nature, the aesthetics, the abundance, the fertility, the waters of life are calling us to go deeper within them. And allowing the energy to speak, to see, what exactly, is the nectar that's being poured to our disgruntled ways of being, our disgruntled faces. What's it offering us to transform into? So we're going to read from the fairy waters of wisdom and see what this majestic light would like to speak. From the hands of the white lady of the fairy well, pour the wise waters of fairyland, sweeter than the finest human wine, smelling of honey and sun-baked earth. Fairy spirits have always been associated with wells and springs, mediating the healing properties of water and bringing hidden natural knowledge of earth to light. This bright queen pours forth an endless flow of sparkling purity, while surrounded by the fairies who cure various physical complaints, arthritis, skin disorders, gout, and a wart fairy, very ill temperament. Like I said, this nectar, this water pouring forth, the disgruntledness of what is perceived as gross, grotesque, and ugly. Fairy wells and sacred springs were considered potent sources of healing by ancient peoples all around the world. Here in the west of England, the old wells buried in the Cornish countryside and the famous Chalice Well at Glastonbury, where the Holy Grail is said to be hidden, are visited to this very day by those seeking cures and blessings. Pins often bent were the traditional offering thrown by pilgrims into holy wells, a custom echoed by the modern practice of throwing coins into wishing wells. Rags were tied to nearby trees by those seeking cures for disease or barrenness. As the rag disintegrated in the wind and rain, so too would troubles fade away. Of all the numerous illnesses said to be cured by sacred waters, the most common was eye complaints. eye as in E-Y-E. Many votive plaster casts or gold replicas of eyes have been found at the bottom of wells, some of which were known as eye wells in times past. It's just the old meaning of the word eye was an opening. So a spring or well is also an opening into the earth and the fairies' domain. Certain pisky wells and fairy pools were once renowned as sites of prophecy. The movement of water or fish in the depths or the pattern of light and leaves on the surface were all ancient means of divination in England and other lands. At specific sites known as woe waters, the flow of springs or lack of it warned people of war, famine, and other trouble ahead. The Fountain of Youth can be found in legends all around the world. In Japan, it is guarded by a fairy-like creature called Chrysanthemum Boy, while in Spain, it is under protection of the Xanax. Xanax, interesting. Dulling the flows, dulling the intuition through repressive means. Okay, there's a message there somewhere for somebody. The fountain fairies. As we rinse our eyes in this fairy well, we open the eyes of the soul to see clearly and clairvoyantly into other levels of consciousness. The bright queen invites us to drink deeply of the water of fairy, as wisdom flows from the depths of the earth through White Lady's nurturing hands. So the waters that flow gift us, and I see water more than just emotion. You have to tap into your emotions to gain sight, to gain clairvoyance, to gain the ability to see the psychic realms, to gain sight to the ethers, to gain sight to the fairy realm. The emotional space are the waters that are just, they're very healing, they're very natural, and they flow through us. This image of, you're bringing me back to that poem. It states, yes, and it has to do with the high priestess, the intuition, the knowing, the subtle realms of the unconscious. The water flows through one's fingertips because you can't grasp it. It's not of matter. It's a sensing. It's a feeling. Okay? The subtleness of sensation of what those waters pour upon us. What stands out most to me is the eye. And that is the eye of God. In other traditions, it's the eye of Ra, which is feminine in nature. And the wells of replenishment. Where do we go to fill our cup? Where do we go when our well is empty? When our emotional space is needing to be refilled, replenished, regenerated, soothed of our disgruntled natures. I want to point out again the vulnerability of nakedness, okay? It's very representative of being vulnerable. When you go swimming, yes, because society tells us we need to be clothed, but how heavy do you feel being clothed by trying to move through water? The dynamics. You're not able to shift. You're not able to, it becomes a drudging because you're weighted. By removing all this heaviness, by leaving just the skin, the being in which you are allows you to move fluidly, safely, joyously, authentically, and happy in which your form and shape is. So we're seeing a theme going back to the chalice, to the Holy Grail, to the space, the womb, okay? And part of my practice and one of my meditations is going into the womb and finding that space and allowing that weightlessness to take hold, to comfort me, to support me, to allow me to just dissolve any heaviness, weariness, pain, suffering, to cleanse my soul, my mind, my body. The elemental space of water, by gifting us that, we can gain a greater sense and seeing through the wells, the replenishment, it's a constant regenerational force that springs forth within the vessel. The eye, seeing through the eyes of God, gifts you to see into various forms and spaces and the energies in which they hold, what they gift us, what they're offering us. I keep being brought back to the eye of Ra, which is an all-seeing eye. And again, that is the eye of God. And when I think of wells, I think of Mimir. And in Nordic traditions, Mimir is the well that Odin went to for prophecy, to gain knowledge of the 9 realms. And it was one of the wells. There are 3 that sit at the base of the Yggdrasil. And it offered great wisdom and knowledge when we could go and sit within that and allow it to flow through us. Realizing we cannot attach. We can hold for a moment, but it needs to be free and fluid. Because the creation has other areas to nurture and nourish, and we can't keep them all to ourselves. So this is the offering of knowledge, the offering of one's wisdom, of one's teachings, lessons, learnings, experiences, which can help others to give them the ability to find their own healing. Now, I had opened up to this as well, and she wanted to speak as well. Gwyneth Whiffar, whether I said that correctly is irrelevant. Her light glows and there's song and sound. Everything around her just flourishing, right? Yet she sits. She's not active. She's receptive. She's listening. She's hearing. She's connecting to her environment. I love the toad. The toad's been very prominent lately, and I've had a toad visit me the past week every night and every morning. And that's a lunar element. They call forth the rain. They call forth the waters of healing, of fertility, of nourishment. Gestation. So let's see what Gwyneth Wayfarer would like to say. She is the white shadow, dancing by moonlight to the fairy piper's tune, leaving tiny white star flowers to glow where her feet had trod. She dreams that she dances among constellations far beyond our knowing. Fairies love to dance. Their music is the most haunting music ever heard by human ears. Sad and sweet, deeply sensual, tranquil one moment, demented the next. The white ladies are luminous fairy creatures who dance by the light of the moon. We just spoke about the moon. Beautiful as the music itself, trailing patterns of color and mist in their wake. Fairies often dance in circles, leaving rings of flattened grass to mark the sites of their midnight revels, or circles of toadstools springing up where fairy feet have trod. Fairies dwell in twilight, between day and night, between spirit and matter, between the consciousness and the unconscious. It's a liminal space where all things are possible, where our past and future meet, where we meet ourselves coming back. When we dance with the fairies, we dance with the reflections of our true selves and the true inner self of the world. Yeah. That's beautiful. Dancing in the moonlight. Is that a Leon Ranch song? Okay. If anybody wants to look into the lyrics there might be something relevant for you. The twilight. The twilight is a liminal space. It's an in-between. And the Fae live within the in-between. They're neither here nor there or anywhere for that matter. Guardians and gatekeepers of various realms and dimensions. Yet they can all congregate within this space and listen to the song of others, to play, to dance, to weave fate's chants, and illuminate the essence of being. The waters that reflect our true selves and our true inner sense of the world. And that goes back to your internal reflects your external. So if we are internally discordant, weary, tired, mad, angry, frustrated, that's going to be reflected in our reality. Yet if we gift ourselves the time and space, we can find this peace and imagine the external. And the more that we can imagine, we can sense, we can connect, we can hear the song, which gives us a greater, yes, dreamweaver, yes. Oh, there's a tone in my right ear right there. Dreamweaver, weaving. Let's read the Dreamweaver. Here's Penelope, a dreamweaver, sitting on a stool at my drawing board. All right, let's sit and we'll meditate on this. Oh, she's gorgeous. The light from her fingers, the creation in which she holds, the light that emanates from her crown, and her feet that levitate from the ground. These remind me of wishes blowing in the wind. Extricating the darkness of sin. That's fascinating. All right, let's go back. Starlight shimmers around her, a visible form of the cosmic energy patterns that flow through everything. At the luminous point where inspirational energies focus downward from the heavens and nurturing energy focused upward from the earth meet in harmony and balance. That's that levitation. She's fully in alignment, gravitating to the sky, yet hovering and levitating upon the earth. She is in complete energetic alignment of her field and her connection to source. Okay? Focus downward. She has her spins in alignment. She has the downward and the upward spin. She's deeply connected to her rod and staff, which anchors the earth and sky. Penelope's fairy form springs forth, spirit manifest as matter. We talk of intelligent or gifted people as being bright or dazzling. We say we have a bright idea, a flash of intuition, or we speak of gaining enlightenment. When we look at fairies, we see all these things made visible in glorious form. Penelope, like all fairies, is illuminating, self-illuminating, for she's found her spins, forever intermingling and working with each other to keep this constant flow, this well, this spring of inspiration and life force. Self-illuminating, a revelation of the self. She is a bright vessel of natural wisdom, an exquisite fairy grace. By calling on this fairy's help, we create focused energy and open ourselves up to higher intuition. She shows us how to reconnect to heavenly and earthly power. We just said that. Take the glowing gift of inspiration. She holds out to you to guide you on your journey, leading to you to all that you might be. And remember, like this fairy, to keep a light and open heart. For self-illumination is the brightest light of all. Let's see. Where'd you go? I lost her. Okay. I want to go back with this self-illumination. See how she's very present in herself, okay? She's very in tune with her form and her body, with her light. She's sensing, she's feeling, she's listening. She's allowing her vision to imagine the world in which she stands within. She too, the dream weaver, does the same. But her gifts are a little bit more. She has the sense, the touch, the ability to receive and give. She senses and she knows and creates. Oh yeah, we have a double Lemmascott, creating the DNA structure. She senses her light wherever it sits within her form. She activates her light body. And she, no, all right, guys, stop. They're just like, they start to get so poetic in their speech. It's amazing and wild. Levitate off the ground. What is drawing you upward? What is drawing you in your ascension? Yet you know, my form is actually grounded within all of this. Sorry. But I can step into this space of knowing, of feeling, of sensing that my light body is completely on and I'm ascending. Light as a feather. My heart is completely bare and open. And I'm able to sense and pull and draw in, yet project my light. There's a grace here. Just keep hearing levitate off the ground. And again, that goes back to the rod and staff. It's the integration of those polarities, the vertical and the horizontal, when they can form and create their wave formation. They work together and you get those polar spins, okay? One spins this way, the other spins this way. That gives us the levitational properties through sound. We're not going to go through that way. We're not going to go into that right now, but I love that that just came through. So anybody that wants to investigate and explore the idea and the information as far as your spin rates of your light body, you can go there. All right, Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver. Yeah, okay. Very blessed. Very blessed. Very blessed. Yes, yes, indeed we are. So I think we're going to leave that there. We're going to make this one short today. Dreamers, weavers, shapeshifters of the light. Storytellers, map makers, spin your webs, your geometric kites. Spin the webs of the fates. Weave the weird as you elevate. That's a poem I wrote a long time ago, so we're going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that there with you. Dream, weave, Sense the waters. Sense the intuitive sight. Allow them to replenish you. Light bodies are on right now. Can you sense it? Can you feel it? Can you fully embody it with grace in order to weave your reality? So I send you all off with much love and many blessings on your journeys forward. Take care. Bye.